Like Bridges. AMS-2, Aviation Structural Mechanics, second class. I got a proud feeling of being a plank owner on Nimitz, but of all the ships, I think the camaraderie was more on the America. You know, we and our crew came together better on Americas because our squadron was a very new squadron. HS-15 was just commissioned in just before I got there. I think spring of 1973. I was basically a plank owner of the squadron too, you know, and so all the guys were finally getting to know each other, and the cruise was a pretty good cruise except for the first 3 months, you know, not seeing land for 3 months, not a good thing, but you know, the whole deal of all the guys getting together and finally, you know, that's my fondest memory of all the ships we were on. I mean, there's a story for every ship, but that one there is, I think, one of the better. Because we did a med cruise. America, we saw a lot of med places, really cool. My favorite port of call, and in a cruise book it says, you can take away heaven as long as you give us Majorca, Spain. Yeah, Majorca, Spain was probably the best port I ever hit. It was awesome. It was obviously Majorca's off the coast of Spain in the middle of the Mediterranean. It was a really nice place. And today, I mean, it was life aboard ship on the America. My average day was, I just ran into each other. I mean, you get up every morning, go down, work on some aircraft. I work nights, so I say get up every night in the afternoon, and we go up, inspect some aircraft, work off the deficiencies, you know. That's pretty much what we did every day. In our berthing space, we had 3 squadrons. It was, 3 squadrons packed into this one room, and the racks, I think, were 4 high. And you know, I mean, you only had a space wide enough to barely turn around, and it got pretty stinky in there. And I mean, they tried to keep it as clean as they could, but you know, it's just that many people in one space, you know. The food, we were right below the galley. I mean, like when they dropped the pots and pans, we heard the pots and pans drop, but we could run out, grab food pretty much any time we wanted to because we knew that the line was short. Now we can go up, you know. Food, when you mass produce food for 5,000 sailors, it's never going to be good. My finest memory when I served was, it's kind of funny. It's a funny story. It's probably wasn't really too legal at the time, but we had been at sea for 3 months straight off of Beirut in 1976. It's a little campaign that was never recognized for anything, which kind of upsets me a little bit about that. But the fondest memories of that is we had been at sea so long, guys were getting real antsy. We hadn't seen a port. We hadn't had anything to drink for 3 months. You know how sailors are. You know. Well, this guy says, my mother used to make wine. So I said, well, how did she do that? He says, well, a little bit of fruit, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of water, and a little bit of yeast. I says, why don't we try that out? So we ended up getting all those little things, water, fruit, and all that stuff, and we put it in one of these little water coolers, you know, with a screw down top. Wasn't a good idea, because wine needs to breathe, all right? And it exploded. I remember sleeping in my rack, and one of the guys came out and says, the shop smells like a brewery, you gotta get up there and clean it up. And there was wine all over the bottom, all over the deck. We had to clean up, we were just kind of lucky. I mean, we cleaned it all up and said, what did we do wrong? And then we realized that wine has to breathe. And what happened is it blew the top of that cooler right off. Funny, it's just the whole being in a situation, you know, where we were, Beirut, and having to do something to get our minds off of, you know, the situation we were in, I guess, more than anything. Because we were a helo squadron. We could be the ones heading in you know, taking people in, you know, and so they were starting to train our guys as, you know, door gunners, and President Ford had given us an order. We were on basically standby for orders to go in. So yeah, it was quite a scary situation at that time. You know, we're going to go to war maybe, and I think there was a lot more to the story than we just sat there and did nothing. But I don't know the facts of that. But I got a feeling we did a lot more in Beirut than they said we did, because they denied all actions there. That was pretty much 1976 did the Med cruise, and then June of '77 got out of the Navy.